All right, welcome back at one time now for our community update with Appleton Police Chief Todd Thomas.
And Chief, on Tuesday, there were 16 different counties across the state of Wisconsin that all had referendums asking about the legalization of medicinal or medical marijuana, all of which passed. Plus, our neighboring state, Michigan, has now legalized the use of recreational marijuana in the state. We've been talking about this with our local law enforcement. What are your thoughts on this results from the election?
Not a surprise. I think everybody anticipated that's what the result was going to be. I think now the question is what now? You know, what's the next step? So I think there's got to be a lot of discussion, especially around medical marijuana with the professionals, the medical community, to talk about the impact of that and how that may look. I think everybody in law enforcement, people have been saying it for years, it's not a Schedule I drug. It probably shouldn't be a Schedule I drug. So where does it actually fit? And we know that there is some science behind the medical use of it, and there are benefits to it. But we have to make sure we separate the medical discussion from the recreational discussion, which we know is coming. The people that have advocated for this have told us that medical marijuana was the first step, and then they would go towards recreational marijuana. All you have to do is look at the studies from the states that have passed it. Dramatic increases in traffic fatalities, youth drug use of marijuana increased 20% in Colorado from the time they went recreational. Even though it went down 4% in the rest of the country, it went up 20%. The traffic fatalities went up 48% in Colorado. The impact on the community, on the youth, the medical community, there's a lot of questions and concerns about recreational marijuana. I just want to make sure that we're out in front talking about this to make sure that the community understands there is a difference. There's a major difference.
And now we'll see what happens after our neighboring state, Michigan, as we mentioned, did legalize it for recreational use, how that'll play a role here in the Badger State. Let's talk about these suspicious garage fires from earlier this week. Pretty interesting. One was at the 100 block of East Harris Street, the other the 700 block of North Clark Street, about 7 blocks from each other. So now you guys are saying this is pretty suspicious, right? Right.
It's unusual to have one garage fire, let alone 2 so close to each other. So our fire investigators, we have detectives, and Appleton Fire Department has arson investigators. They're working together on this. They'll look for cause and origin, try to determine what caused it. The origin of the fire is kind of the first step. We've already done some canvassing and investigating or questioning people in the neighborhood to see if they noticed anything suspicious. Luckily, we haven't had any since then. So we'll hopefully investigators will get some clues and tips so we can solve that one.
Continuing to follow that story, we'll stick with Local 5 for continued updates. Now, elder abuse, this is a big problem, not just here in the state, but throughout the country. You're working with the DOJ to get a grant. Tell us about that.
Right, this is exciting. Elder abuse is going to grow. We know it's a huge issue. Statistics are 1 in 10 of our elders is abused in some way, emotionally, financially. We partner with the Department of Justice, Attorney General's office. Outagamie County is one of 4 project sites in the state that's going to be a partner in this program. Much like we approached sexual assault investigations and domestic violence, we're going to have a coordinated community response team that's going to have our district attorney's office, police department, Harbor House, Health and Human Services. We're going to partner together as a group to address not just identify and investigate and prosecute elder abuse, but also to educate and try to prevent. Our elder population is going to double. It's going to go from 40 to 80 million in the next 30 years. I'll be one of those. You won't be one of those. I'll be one of those. But they're a very vulnerable population, so we need to do everything that we possibly can. So we're really excited about this one.
All right, good stuff. And we'll continue to keep you posted with any developments that come from there. Protecting our elders, very important. All right, Appleton Police Chief Todd Thomas with this community update. We appreciate the time as always. Thank you. We got to check on this chilly forecast coming up right after this.